Here is your script. If you take your blood pressure first thing in the morning, write down the number, and feel good or bad about your day based on that one reading, I need you to hear this. That single morning number is one of the most misleading measurements in your whole house, and the way most folks take it actually makes it worse, not better. So before you trust another reading, stay with me, because by the end of this, I'm going to show you the one mistake that throws off more morning readings than anything else, and most people have no idea they're doing it. I'm not a doctor. I want to say that right up front. I'm just a fellow who reads the research, talks to a lot of people our age, and tries to explain this stuff in plain English the way I'd want it explained to me. And blood pressure is one of those topics where the science is actually pretty clear, but almost nobody at home is doing it the way the studies say to. So let's fix that today. First, let's talk about why the morning is tricky in the first place. There's something researchers call the morning surge. When you wake up, your body shifts gears. Hormones like cortisol and adrenaline rise to get you up and moving. Your heart rate picks up, your blood vessels tighten, and your blood pressure naturally climbs in those first couple of hours after you open your eyes. This is normal. It's how the human body is built. But it means that if you catch your reading at the wrong moment in that surge, you can see a number that looks alarming when your blood pressure across the whole day might be perfectly reasonable. Studies have found that this morning rise is a real, measurable thing, and in some people it's steeper than others. So the morning isn't a bad time to measure. It's actually one of the recommended times, but it's a time when a single snapshot can really fool you. Now here's the bigger problem. Your blood pressure is not one number. It's not like your shoe size. It moves constantly, all day long, minute to minute. It goes up when you stand, when you talk, when you're cold, when you've had coffee, when you're worried about a reading, when your bladder is full, when you cross your legs. It comes down when you rest, when you breathe slow, when you sleep. So when you take one reading and treat it as my blood pressure, you're grabbing one frame out of a 2-hour movie and calling it the whole film. That's the core mistake, and almost everything else I'm going to tell you flows from understanding that one idea. So let's get into how to actually do it right, because the good news is the rules are simple and they're free. No new gadget required. Number 1, rest before you measure. The research is consistent on this. You should sit quietly for about 5 minutes before you take a reading, not 30 seconds, not while the cuff is inflating, 5 full minutes of just sitting calmly. I know that feels like a long time when you're standing in the bathroom in the morning, but if you rushed in from the kitchen, climbed the stairs, or were rummaging through a drawer, your number is going to be elevated, and it has nothing to do with your actual blood pressure. Sit down, let your body settle, and then measure. Number 2, posture, and this is where so many readings go wrong. Sit in a chair with a back and put your back against it. Don't perch on the edge of the bed. Keep both feet flat on the floor. Do not cross your legs or your ankles, because crossing your legs has been shown to raise the reading. Rest your arm on a table so that the cuff sits at the level of your heart. If your arm is hanging down at your side or held up in the air, you'll get a false number. Arms supported at heart level every single time. Number 3. And remember I promised you the one mistake most people make? Here it is. It's putting the cuff over your clothing, and worse, taking the reading while you're talking. Research has found that talking during a measurement, even just answering a question or chatting with your spouse, can push the reading up noticeably. Same with a full bladder, go to the bathroom first. So the picture is this: empty bladder, bare arm or a thin sleeve, sitting back, feet flat, arms supported, and your mouth closed. Quiet. Just breathe. That combination alone corrects more bad readings than any expensive monitor ever will. Most people get a high number, get worried, the worry raises it more, and they spiral. Don't do that to yourself. Number 4, the cuff itself and its size. A cuff that's too small for your arm will read falsely high, sometimes by a lot. This is incredibly common because many monitors come with a standard cuff that simply doesn't fit a larger arm. Measure around your upper arm or ask your pharmacist to check that your cuff is the right size for you. Your pharmacist is a wonderful, underused resource for this, and it usually costs you nothing to ask. and bring your home monitor into the pharmacy or your doctor's office once in a while so they can check it against their equipment. Home monitors can drift over time, and you want to know yours is honest. Now let me come back to that idea that one reading lies, because this is the heart of it. The right way to track blood pressure at home is not one reading, it's a routine. Here's what the research generally points to. Take 2 readings in the morning before you've taken any blood pressure medication and before breakfast. But go ahead and, after you've been up and about a little, sat your 5 minutes, done it properly. 2 readings, about 1 minute apart, then do the same in the evening. And here's the key. Write them all down and do this for about a week, not one day. Then you look at the average across that week. That average tells you far more than any single number ever could. One high reading on a Tuesday morning means very little. A week's worth of numbers that all run high, that's information your doctor can actually use. And let me tell you why that pattern matters so much, because this is where 2 sneaky conditions come in. The first is something you may have heard of, white coat hypertension. This is when your blood pressure is normal at home but jumps up at the doctor's office, usually from the simple stress of being there. It's incredibly common. The research suggests a real portion of people who get told they have high blood pressure at the office actually have normal pressure the rest of the time. If you only ever measured at the clinic, you might end up labeled and treated for something that isn't really there in daily life. That's exactly why home readings, done correctly over a week, are so valuable. They show what's happening in your real world. But there's a flip side, and this one's more dangerous because it's quiet. It's called masked hypertension. This is the opposite. Your blood pressure looks fine at the doctor's office, but it's actually running high at home and during your normal day. These folks get falsely reassured. The clinic says, "You're fine," but their bodies are under pressure the other 23 hours. Research has linked masked hypertension to real risk precisely because it goes undetected. And the only way to catch it is, you guessed it, measuring properly at home and bringing those numbers to your doctor. So you see, the home routine protects you in both directions. It catches the false alarm and it catches the silent problem. Before I go further, let me give you a small, friendly tip. If you want a simple 1-page sheet to write down your morning and evening readings for a week, the kind of log your doctor will actually thank you for, I've put a link down in the description below. It's just a clean little tracker, no charge, nothing fancy. Grab it if it helps you stay organized, and keep listening, because the next part is where people make a real mistake with their medication timing. Here's what I mean. A lot of people take their blood pressure medication in the morning, and some take it at night, and there's been a lot of back and forth in the research about which is better. I'm not going to tell you to switch your timing. Please don't change anything on your own based on a video. But I'll tell you what the conversation is about so you can have a smart talk with your doctor. The thinking is that because of that morning surge we talked about, some people's pressure isn't well covered in those early hours. Whether moving a dose helps is genuinely something the studies have gone back and forth on, and it depends a great deal on the specific person and the specific medication. Drugs like amlodipine, lisinopril, losartan, they each behave a little differently in the body. Some last longer than others. This is exactly the kind of thing to ask your doctor or pharmacist about. Given my readings, is my timing right for me? Ask about alternatives if something isn't working for you. But never stop a medication on your own, and never skip a dose to make a reading look better. That only hides the very information you need. And one more honest word about those numbers. If you take a reading and it's high, the worst thing you can do is take it again immediately, see it's still high, take it again, and again, watching it climb while your anxiety climbs with it. That's a trap. The smart move is what the research supports. Take your 2 proper readings, write them down, and move on with your morning. Look at the week, not the moment. Now, if you ever get a reading that's extremely high along with symptoms, a bad headache, chest discomfort, trouble breathing, vision changes, that's not a track it for a week situation. That's a call your doctor or get help now situation. Know the difference. So let's bring it all together, because I want you to walk away with this clearly. One morning reading lies because your blood pressure is a moving thing and the morning surge is real. To get the truth, you rest 5 minutes, you sit back with your feet flat and your arms supported at heart level, you keep quiet with an empty bladder and a properly sized cuff, and you take 2 readings morning and evening for a week and look at the average. That routine reveals white coat hypertension, so you're not treated for a problem you don't have, and it uncovers masked hypertension so a real problem doesn't stay hidden. And you bring those numbers, not your feelings about the numbers, the actual written log E, to the doctor or pharmacist who knows your whole picture. Do that, and you go from being scared by a single number to being the most informed patient in the waiting room. That's the goal, not fear, information. If this helped clear things up, the little tracking sheet I mentioned is waiting for you in the description below. That's the easiest way to put everything we talked about into practice this week. Go at your own pace. And let me leave you with this. You are not your worst reading. You're the pattern over time, and you have more control over understanding that pattern than you might have thought when you started this video. Take it slow, be kind to yourself, and bring your good, honest numbers to someone who can help you read them. Remember, friend, I'm not a doctor, and everything I've shared today is general information to help you ask better questions, not medical advice for your specific situation. Talk to your own doctor or pharmacist before you change anything at all. Take good care of yourself, keep measuring the right way, and I'll see you in the next one.